Hi, it's Rick Rollins, and this is Going Places. Don't you want to come along? Hi, it's Rick Rollins, and welcome to this edition of Going Places. I know you're used to seeing us out and about, but this week, due to a hectic schedule and inclement weather, we're coming to you from the Design Center here at Ricardo's. I'm excited about today's show because it's going to be a good one. Laura Burns shows us that she ain't afraid of no ghost. And Alicia Stafford takes us to the movies as she reviews 12 Mighty Orphans. And we continue our conversation with former NFL football player turned artist, Aaron Evans. But first up, Jeffrey Huggins takes us to Pet Resources and shows us how to make popsicles. What's a popsicle? I'm sure Jeffrey's going to tell us. Take it away, Jeff.
Thank you, Rick. Today we are at the Mike S. Merrell Pet Resource Center in Hillsborough County. And we're going to go inside and learn a little bit about pet resources, what they do, their volunteers, their animals. Come on in.
We're going to make popsicles for the dogs. They're frozen broth and dog food treats. So they end up looking like this, and it provides a nice frozen cooling treat for the dogs. We pop them out of this bowl, put them in their kennel, and it gives the dogs something to do while they're hanging out in their kennel waiting for their new home.
So I'm here with Christine, and now we're talking enrichment. And tell me, Christine, first of all, what we're doing, and then we'll talk about why we're doing it.
Okay, we are here to prepare some enrichment for our dogs. We like to give them both out of kennel enrichment and in kennel enrichment. When we're home bored, we can't, we like to open a book, maybe binge watch a Netflix show.
Nice.
Our dogs can't do that here, so we give them something to occupy their minds while they're waiting in their kennels for their home.
Awesome.
Okay, are you ready to start cooking?
Let's do our cooking segment. This will be great.
So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you your utensil.
Utensil.
We're going to open up a can of dog food, and we're
awesome.
going to divide one can of dog food into 3 different bowls.
Okay.
That's our first ingredient.
I can do that so far.
Our finished product will
And
be
off
a
there.
popsicle.
Gotcha. A popsicle. We're doing popsicles today. Today on Going Places, we're making popsicles. Okay, so about 1/3 in each, you said.
That's right.
Okay.
This is our base to our popsicle.
And at this point, any dog food will do, or are there specific kind of flavors you're going for?
We
Consistencies?
really utilize any kind of dog food. Luckily, we don't have too many picky connoisseurs here.
Right. If
And
it's
again,
food, I'll eat it.
That's right. And again, we rely heavily on donations. So this was donated from a member of the public here. So
Awesome.
off of our wish list.
So between
Perfect.
volunteers and the public, we keep pet resources running. All right, so I did okay there. I got three different sets, right? We're looking good.
Perfect. Perfect.
And what's next?
Broth. So go ahead and open up the broth.
Okay. That's exciting. You open that.
And we put enough broth in there to cover the top of the dog
The
food.
top of the dog food.
Perfect.
So I didn't have to.
Great.
I didn't have to put. I didn't have to mix it all. The liquid's gonna do that.
That's right. Excellent.
And even thirds. Did I use the whole thing?
You can, and then we also are going to add just a little bit of water for diluting.
Okay, very good.
Just a little
We
bit.
have
There we
a
go.
water container.
No, ready to go.
Okay, so and then just a little bit of that as well.
That's right.
Okay.
Perfect.
A dollop of water.
A dollop of water.
Okay. Wow, this
Secret
looks
recipe.
this looks delicious. Nice. Okay.
And then to top it off, we can add some cheese.
Oh, see, one of my favorite things when I was much younger and healthier was canned cheese. So we put some cheese in there. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay. And you gotta look like you're really
You have to have some flair
doing that,
to
right?
it.
A little
Add a little
flair.
flair. That's right.
And when it's a cooking segment, we gotta make sure it's looking like, and then you do one of those at the end. Is that enough cheese for each of them?
Oh, I don't think there's ever enough cheese, but
Okay.
that'll work.
Okay, cool. Very good. Here, I'll give them a little extra. Okay. So, and it depends on the size of the dog, I guess, too. So do you give little dogs big popsicles?
We do because it gives them a chance to savor it, so to speak. So they can lick it, they can gnaw on it.
So no matter the size of the dog, same size popsicle. Okay.
That's right.
All right, so we have our ingredients.
We have our ingredients. Now we're going to transfer those bowls
Okay, very good. Into the freezer.
Into the deep freeze.
Nice.
Go ahead and put those on in there.
Okay.
Come on.
There we go. Okay.
And then if you want to bring out frozen.
Ah, sure.
And just like that.
Nice. And we've got frozen popsicles. Look at that. And you got a little ice on the bottom. Oh, that's fantastic. We'll need a couple of those out. That one looks like it's appetizing. And then we'll put another one of those in so that later I'll have done my job and created more popsicles for you guys.
Very nice. Perfect.
And I see that there's popsicles in there in smaller ice cubes as
That's
well,
right. Sometimes, as you mentioned, for small dogs, if they're very small, sometimes we have dogs that can't chew very well. We will give them a smaller ice cube type.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Okay, so now we have popsicles, and those look appetizing. I don't know if I can fit my head in the dish, but boy, they look tasty. Maybe I could try that. Let me see if I can get in there. Oh, salty.
It is
Very
salty.
nice. Wow.
Replaces the salt from the sweat.
Gotcha. I am so this will be okay. Dogs will eat anything, right? It's not like I'm ruining it for the
No,
poor
not
dog.
at all.
So.
They're happy to share.
Yeah. So I taste a little bit of cheese and a little bit of salt.
Yep.
And then that little bit of broth in there for the and dog food. Wow.
That's right.
Hopefully that's some good stuff. Oh, beef and chicken. Yeah, that's gonna be good. All right, one more taste.
Refreshing for people and dogs, apparently.
Looking like a puppy. That's awesome. Well, that's great. Okay, and so popsicles are part of the enrichment
Right.
deal, and it's healthy for them, but it also makes them work.
Right.
And a lot like me chasing an ice cube on the floor or something like that, it takes a while.
Well, thanks for joining us today as we created a plethora of popsicles for the dogs here at Hillsborough County Pet Resources. And in our next segment, we'll create some peanut butter play toys and deliver them to our furry friends. Back to you, Rick.
Popsicles. Who knew? I wonder if there's a cat sickle too. For more information about pet resources and all that they do, you can find them on the web and social media. When we come back, Laura Burns takes us ghost hunting at Hollow Stream. Right after this, stay with us.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. A place for you to come and share thoughts and spirit through a cup of coffee. Come and enjoy with us here at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. I'm Rick Rollins, and now our own Laura Burns takes us on a ghostly adventure, only to prove She ain't afraid of no ghost. Take it away, Laura.
Get ready to get your scare on, Tampa Bay. Howl-O-Scream is back for 28 terrifying nights where you'll be immersed in the world of fear, of the weird, the stuff nightmares are made of.
Oh, Howl-O-Scream 2021, we're back with a vengeance this year. We're so excited for Howl-O-Scream this year. Not only are we back with 8 open-air scare zones, but we're back with haunted houses. So we have 5 haunted houses for this year's event, 3 of which are brand new.
Busch Gardens Tampa Bay strapped us up with a scare cam and walked us through one of the new haunted houses, The Forgotten. And they're not kidding, fiends. This house is creepy.
So the vampires, they were cast away underground after the Great Uprising, and somehow they survived underground, and not only did they survive, they thrived. And you're gonna figure out how they did that, and as you progress deeper in that house, you're gonna realize that you play a part of that as maybe their next meal to stay alive through the lair of the vampires.
We don't want to totally give it away, but let's just say the scare actors here have impeccable timing. What's really cool about these houses is the creative process it takes to make them come to life, a process that's often years in the making.
We actually never stopped talking Howl-O-Scream, so we're here tonight getting ready for opening this year, but we've already started talking about next year. So really, a year in advance, we start working on creative concepts, ideas, thoughts, process. We start, when the event opens, we start hearing what our guest feedback is. We do like to make sure we cater the event to what our guest feedback is to make sure it's an event tailored to them. So you'll see like some of our houses like Deathwater Bayou that's been here for years and years. It's a guest favorite. We keep that coming back because our guests say, we love this haunted house.
If the creative process is something you'd like to explore a bit more, you can book a lights-on tour of a house of your choice. We got a lights-on tour of the new house, Witch of the Woods, that starts you off with a long walk through the woods of Busch Gardens, making this the longest haunted house at Howl-O-Scream. Step inside the house, lights on again, and you can see a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to terrify. In this house, it's not just the creative team that set the stage for a fright-filled tour. It's also the talents of more than 50 scare actors, and you can peek inside their hiding spots to see what it's like on the other side of the screen.
You can actually, it's throughout the entire run of Howl-O-Scream. So what you do is go to howloscreamtampa.com and it'll tell you the availability and you'll have a chance to sign up and get that exclusive access to one of our haunted houses. I won't give it away, it'll be a secret and you'll have a chance to find out on your own.
In addition to the haunted houses, there are 8 open-air scare zones and the chainsaws are revved up and ready. And there are creatures lurking and hiding in all of the unexpected places. And for a break in the thrills, you can check out the live show Fiends at the Festival Field stage. And of course, there will be plenty of ghoulishly good bites and brews.
I say for the best deal for Howl-O-Scream, the best deal on tickets, get them early, get them right now, and go to howloscreamtampa.com to get the best deal on Howl-O-Scream tickets.
It'll be a night you won't forget, or maybe you just might want to forget if a good night's sleep is what you're after. At Busch Gardens in Tampa, I'm Laura Byrne, and we're going places.
See, what did I tell you? She ain't afraid of no ghost, and neither am I. Wait, did you? Anyway, when we come back, if I'm here, Alicia Stafford reviews 12 Mighty Orphans as we go to the movies right after this.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. Life is moving, visible with color, sound, and community. Enjoy a cup of coffee at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
I'm Alicia Stanford. Let's go to the movies. It's summertime and a great time for a feel-good film about some underdogs who defied the odds. The best part? It's based on a true story.
My name's Harvey Newell Russell. I'm the new math science teacher.
The football coach?
That's right.
Luke Wilson is returning to his Texas roots for his latest project, 12 Mighty Orphans. It's based on the true story of a football coach hired to start a team at a Fort Worth area orphanage during the Great Depression.
The way I see it, you can either work the field or play the field. That sounds good to me. I'm in. Might as well. Okay.
To call this effort a challenge is an understatement. The students had no experience with the game.
Stay down in the dirt where you belong, loser orphan.
And there were no expectations for their success or even acceptance from the community.
This is how we're going to beat the bigger teams. We don't have the size, so we got to utilize what we do have, speed.
Joining Wilson on screen is Emmy winner Martin Sheen as an assistant coach and the orphanage doctor. Wayne Knight of Seinfeld fame is a teacher at the school who does his best to block the team's efforts.
It's hard to believe when all you've known is hurt and loss. I look at you boys and I can honestly say I'm proud to be an orphan.
12 Mighty Orphans is a movie about the audacity of hope, hard work, and making sure everyone has the opportunity to succeed.
According to the movie, Coach Rusty Russell really helped make football what it is today. I'm Alicia Stanford, and that's what's going on at the movies this week.
Great job as always, Alicia. 12 Mighty Orphans is playing in a theater near you. Remember these guys? I ask you to help put 100 of them in the arms of some young person. And you've helped us do this. Now we want to exceed this goal. For more information, go to the website and give a furry friend to a young friend who needs a friend. We'll be back right after this. So that's what real style looks like. Ricardo's West Shore Plaza. Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. We conclude our interview with Aaron Evans as he continues to talk about faith, football, and his future. Take a look. I understand callings. I understand when God asks you to do something. You get to this place where you say, God, okay, I'm gonna lay it all down. I'm gonna trust you. So, what does that kind of faith look like, Aaron?
It looks like not buying the thing that you want for yourself because you gotta budget. It looks like your sacrifices, it doesn't look like you want it to look. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like, oh, I'm gonna be in the lights and glitz and glam. It looks like I'm struggling this month to figure this out. Because I think within the, there's so many necessary skills you have to learn in order to get to where you wanna get. Right. And God knows that. And if God gave you your $2 million contract, your $2 million painting cell, or the big deal thing, whatever that thing is, right now, would you appreciate it? Wow. Would you appreciate it? And the reality of the situation is most people would not appreciate it. True. God is not going to bless you with something that you will not appreciate. Right. He's just not. He's why would if that's like a parent giving a Mercedes-Benz to a brand new Mercedes-Benz to a 16-year-old who has shown a life of being reckless. Why? That's not responsible. A parent that would not be a responsible parent to give that to that kid. However, but that's how I think God is with us. He's I know what I have for you. It's but you have to show me that you're gonna step up and be a steward of it. Otherwise, I can't bless you with it.
So do you think you've been a faithful steward?
I sure hope so. I mean, sometimes I get discouraged. I had a moment this weekend where I just had a little emotional meltdown about some stuff. because it's challenging. It's not. I would be lying to say that it's easy what I'm doing. But the things that keep me moving forward are these types of things, like these types of conversations. I have conversations like this where I get to share my faith almost on a daily basis. If I'm in public, if I'm around people, I'm sharing this story with somebody. And I have to believe that that is the main fruit in this. Like, because I've had so many people reach out to me that say, I'm painting again because of you.
Wow.
I'm creating music because of you. I have so many teammates who are in the arts right now, who are rappers and artists and singers, and I just saw some girls from college that I hadn't seen in years, and we were at a wedding with another one of my former teammates, and we were all talking about how like they had been doing murals and painting and stuff on like a low level stuff, and they were embarrassed about it. And I was like, why? I was like, this is so exciting. They're like, well, yeah, we saw what you were doing, and we didn't know that you even had this in you, and it's crazy to see how much you've changed and grown. And I'm like, keep doing that. That's amazing. Like, so that is where I find the most substance in this for now. I mean, I hope as I get older, I need this to become more and more substantial so I can have a family. I'd like to get married and have kids and do all that stuff. And I need this to continue to grow to keep up with those demands. But I'm really trying to, I've read this book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And there's a part of that book that says, would you rather have like a bar of gold or would you rather have a plate of wisdom? And most people will just reach for the bar of gold because of instant gratification. And what you fail to realize is with the plate of wisdom is you can go make 40 bars of gold. And that's where I think that's where God has me at this stage in my life. He's just, listen, bro, you're at Pee Wee football again, and you got to work your way back up. And it's been very challenging and very humbling, but I mean, every step of the way, I get reassured. Every time when I'm close on my bills, I sell something. Every single time, I mean, God comes through with something cool. I always pray for opportunities like this, that more good comes from it than not. Like that this message impacts someone sitting on their house and they've been wanting to paint, they haven't done it. Like, go paint. Get up and just go do the thing. Like whatever expression of your soul that you want to express, go do it. Life is short. And you're like, because you're afraid it's gonna look bad, or because you're afraid someone's not gonna like it, or whatever, like, screw that. Just go do it. It doesn't matter if it's pretty or ugly or fantastic. It's just the fact that you had the courage to go do that is the biggest thing. That's amazing.
What do you want them to say about when they write your story? What do you want them to say about you?
I hope that people are inspired to go beyond themselves and to give to the world around them. I hope that they say that he was kind and faithful and that he put others first. Me, Aaron Evans, would go sit in the woods and I'd be happy for the rest of my life. But I see such value and purpose in serving people. I would rather be alone for the rest of my life in the woods. But I know that God has built me and called me to a certain thing. Yes. And for me to selfishly go squander that would be a shame.
First of all, let me thank you for having your art in my story.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It has created a lot of interest.
That's awesome.
And people were like, well, what inspired it? And I said, well, I'll ask him those questions. So let's start with the Tampa piece.
Yeah, so me and my sister actually got a duplex in downtown Tampa area together when I quit playing football and I just started being a painter full time. My mom was like, you can't come back to the house though. So me and my sister got a place together, and that was actually really good for us because we got really close in that time living together post college and everything, so we reconnected. But this was inspired from our adventures exploring Tampa together. We would go out with our friends. She liked going out on ladies' night to Coyote Ugly and stuff in Ybor, and I would always be like her protector because Ybor is a little bit rough sometimes at night, so I wasn't sure about her going by herself. So
I need to take you on the road with me. We got some places we could take him.
Yeah, I'll keep you safe. But yeah, so this is inspired from our adventures then in Tampa. I painted this in my driveway actually This is a custom canvas. I built the frame, built everything that you see here. But like there's my handprints all over it. I have some feet prints on it. There's a skyway here, kind of abstract version of it. But Ybor in Tampa has such a great nightlife and such a great environment to have a good time and spend time with your friends and family. And it's pretty much all flavors of the rainbow you can go explore. So you can go to a Latin bar one night. You can go to like the college vibe, or you can go to the grunge bar. There's even some emo spots that are like hidden in the dark alleys. But but yeah, it's anything you can think of. So it's pretty neat.
Okay, because it is one of the most talked about pieces in the store.
Awesome.
And so you know what I told you I think you should do.
Yeah,
and so
yeah, you're right.
And that's coming soon. I'm willing to bet. So where does the inspiration for this come from? I mean, are you driving along? Are you sitting in your house in the middle of the night and you go, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every once in a while I'll wake up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with the idea in my head. It just pops in my head, and I have to get up and go draw it. And I have to get it on paper, and I actually write down the color scheme. I write down everything on the side of it. Like I can see the whole image in my head, but I don't want to actually put the effort into painting it in that moment. So I just get all the information that's in my head on the piece of paper. So there's notes, specs, size of the canvas, everything. I think about all of it at once. Other ones, it's stuff that's influenced me. So like the first painting I ever did was a Nipsey Hussle piece, and just full transparency, I grew up very white culture, so to speak, and then when I started playing pro football, but seriously, I was playing, as I got exposed to the culture, and my roommates in college were black dudes and all this stuff, and I really started like get into the culture of it, and I was like, wow, there's a lot more here than I ever thought. And when I saw the impact that Nipsey had on his community and on his world, I was like, that's really, really profound, and it impacted me. And I also really enjoyed the message in a lot of his music. So I started with that piece, and that same thing with like Biggie and stuff. I was just inspired by those dudes.
As a creative, when I see somebody that can and I can't paint, I wish I could.
Practice.
But to watch you pour it onto the canvas and leave it there with the vulnerability, because you don't know if people are gonna like it or not, is amazing to me.
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely pretty scary sometimes, but it's always worth it.
I'd like to thank you for joining us for this edition of Going Places. Hopefully we'll see you again next week, same time, same place, same channel. Until then, we're going places. Don't you want to come along? Take care.